and
Mhm.
implementing those knowledge. And since
Right.
I have been reading for past 4 or 5 years, my life is being changed gradually.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Miss Kaur. How are you?
I'm good. What about you?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
That's great. So, what have you been reading about or thinking about? What's on your mind?
Let me show you. I'm
Sure.
reading this
Okay,
psycho
very
psych.
interesting. What have you learned so far?
I have learned so far that our thinking creates our future,
Mm-hmm.
right? What you have image about yourself,
Mm-hmm.
so shall your life would be. So if you want to change your life, change your image about yourself, and you can change your life, whether it
Yeah.
is money or what, happiness,
Mm.
unhappiness, whatever. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But do you think reading a book is going to suffice? Like afterwards, is it going to be that easy that one just has to decide and they have to take it the next the next step forward, as it were? What do you think is the next step after this?
Next step, until unless you are not executing that ideas, you are
Hmm.
not going to do. You are
Right.
not going to get there. So you
Right.
have to execute. Yes,
So, what
yeah.
is your action plan in this direction?
In this direction, I have, if I talk about psychology, I have read almost 1 2 3 more than 5 books about
Hmm.
psychology, how you can change your thinking. And since I the power of subconscious mind is my first book,
Hmm.
and after reading that book, that book changed my habit of reading.
Hmm.
Before that, I was not, reader, but after reading that book, I perceived that very well. I read that book more than 5 times, back to
Hmm.
back.
Okay, interesting.
After reading that book, my thought changed. Okay, everything been changed. I'm happy now,
Hmm.
right? So after reading this kinds of book, you feel like, oh, success is easy. You feel like lighter. Oh, life is beautiful. Just we have to change our conception,
Right,
right?
right.
So what I do, obviously, I try to implement 5%, 10% of that idea.
Hmm.
But after reading that again and again and again, thinking about that thoughts or that creative things, you are feeding those thoughts in your mind.
True.
After reading that, you are feeding that. If you are
Hmm.
keep feeding those thoughts in your mind, sooner or later it will function. It will starting believe, your subconscious mind started believing that thought. And
Yeah,
once it
yeah.
will be believing, your subconscious mind change the vibration of your body.
Hmm.
Okay, and once the vibration will change, obviously it will force you to take action.
True.
So that's how, this is my philosophy about reading books and
Hmm.
implementing those knowledge. And since
Right,
I have been reading for past 4 or 5 years, my life is being changed gradually.
right, right. So, how do you tend to pick up your books? How do you go about the process? Do you look for recommendations online, or is it something that comes from within that you want to read about a particular topic?
Actually, what I on social media, I follow those people. Okay, with whom I want, with them I want to be, like them I want to
Hmm.
be.
Hmm.
Right. So they recommend me, or there is a page. Okay, they only recommend if you want to change your life, you want to change your income, if you want to change your personality, if you want to change your
Hmm.
communication, read this book.
Hmm.
And that's how I choose. I'll pick up books to read.
Yeah. So, one thing you said here, like them, I want to be. Here, we could say that people whom I want to be like. So,
People
I
whom I
always,
want to be like. Yeah.
yeah, I always follow those people whom I want to be like. So, it was a little complex construction, but I think you were talking about a very complex phenomena and you had a very big sentence. So, it's okay sometimes. And it can happen from a slip of tongue as well. So, these things you can pay attention to. Yeah. So, what are the things that you're working on when it comes to your communication in particular?
For apart from Clappingo, I read a book that is related to story, and
Mhm,
obviously this kind of book. I listen to podcast. I listen to
mhm.
motivational speakers, and once they speak, I repeat those words
Great.
louder.
Right,
Okay,
right.
so that's what I do.
That's great. Yeah. So how is it going about when you're talking to people outside of these sessions? What do you observe about yourself? What are the changes that you've seen over the years?
I need to improvement a lot, but I have come far away. Okay,
Mhm.
what I was 1 year back. So yeah, I am confident now. I can speak for 5 to 10 minutes with any stranger. Or a little bit, I will get hesitate because he may
Mhm.
know. Only one thing I have problem with. He may judge me.
Right, right. Yeah. Why do you
Judgmental
think?
is sometimes
Yeah,
you feel like okay, oh, obviously I have a lot I need to improve a lot. Okay, so sometimes I feel oh he or she may judge me, oh I made mistake here and there, so that things
right.
hinder us to speak
True,
fluently and with the confidence, so that
true.
things.
True, yeah. I think it's something that plays the best of speakers. So if you pay attention to all the good conversationalists in the world and you listen to their speeches, how they started to do these things, they would say that before every speech or before getting on the stage, they used to feel these nervous jitters, their legs used to shake, or they never felt like going, but they went regardless. So it's about training your mind to think in that direction, that because your mind is saying something else, but you have to do otherwise. You have to go over there. Uh, there are multiple examples of people who have done this, and they have been very successful in their fields as well. So I think it's
So
about training our mind to think in that direction, to defy our feelings, because our feelings are like that, like you mentioned about feeling nervous or not
mhm,
wanting to speak, because your first instinct would be to not go and talk to someone new, because you don't know what's going to happen. You might fumble, or you might do something you don't want to do. But I think it's about moving past our fear and seeing, okay, what's the worst that would happen? If that person judges me, then it's on them, right? If a person has done enough in their own life, they're never going to judge you, because they have been where you are right now, right? So they are going to appreciate your progress, and they would give you a pat on the back, that it's good that
mhm,
you are moving in this direction. And I think it's about that. It's about moving past those fears, like you mentioned. And how do
mhm.
you go about tracking your progress? So let's say that you have been a reader, and how long has it been reading books and tracking your progress like this?
I've reading for 4 years, 4.5
That's
years
great.
of, yeah, 4 years
Hmm.
I have been reading books, and my reading skill has been improved.
Hmm.
Okay, and tracking about what I try to read. I try to finish a book in a week.
That's great. That's
Right.
wonderful.
Yes, yes. But sometimes I cannot because I have other schedule.
Hmm.
Okay, to do that. So sometimes I know, but most of the time I finish.
Right. That's great.
Depend
Yeah.
on the no the magnitude of the book.
Hmm. Yeah. Interesting. So,
Mhm.
what is it about a book that makes you want to read it back to back? Like you mentioned about Murphy's The Power of the Subconscious Mind.
Mhm. Yeah, obviously, if the book is fascinating me and if I feel like, oh, this is interesting, let me read it again. Let me read
Hmm.
it again. So, in what, as per psychology or science, whatever you say, once you read a book, only you, if you're smart enough, okay, your mind is sharp enough to conceive the things, you only consume 25% of the content.
Mm. Yeah.
Right. But if you read it twice, you may go 30 and then thrice 35 or 40. And that's how you can consume
True.
more and more content and understand and perceive.
Right. Yeah.
That is right. Reading once, after reading once, okay, you remember that. After 1 or 2 weeks, again, it's erased from your mind.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a very good approach, because I've encountered a lot of people who go very counter to this. So they have a very counterintuitive approach to this. They would only count the number of books that they've read in a year. I think that is something which shouldn't work. ideally it doesn't work for us, right? Because like you mentioned that we don't comprehend so much the first time that we
Mhm.
read a book. So it's always a better idea to prioritize quality over quantity. It's good to
And
read
you are
one book
surrounding
multiple
with those
times.
content again and again. Again, you are
Yeah.
not getting out of those ideas when you read that book again and again. Right. So at least human bodies should read a book in order to understand and perceive those all things properly five
Mhm.
to seven times at least.
True, true. Yeah, it depends on the quality. So, like you mentioned
Yeah.
that you came across this book and you thought that, okay, this is life changing and I need to devote more of my time to it.
More
So,
time. Yeah.
once you realize that, I think, yes, we should go about devoting more time to it. I think that's why people tend to read the scriptures, the holy books again and again
Yes,
because of
they
how
read
dense
every
they are.
single day. After
Yeah.
finishing, they read every single day. Yeah.
Right, right. So they think that there is something more that they need to get out of it, and it doesn't
Mhm.
stop. That learning never stops. I have so many, yeah,
Mhm.
researchers, professors who keep on reading the same books again and again, and they say each time I discover something new because
Something
of,
new.
yeah, yeah, that's
Something
great.
new. Yes.
So, what do you think about this? And in comparison to this, the social media model, where we have compressed everything into 15 seconds or 30 seconds, and people think that it's okay to get your wisdom like that. So, what is your take on this?
My take on this is very uh, impatience. I think
Mhm,
if you are impatient, I think you cannot linger on the top for most of the time, to stay on the top for longer period of time, right?
mhm.
And one person is try to devote only 15 or 30 seconds on a video, and that is valuable. You can and he's not trying to hold his eye for next 1 minute 2 minutes, and that is valuable. That means he has impatience, his impatience, right?
Right.
So patience is very, very, very important if you wanna be a legend in your career or in any
Mhm.
field,
True, true.
right? But it shows that how dedicated you are towards
Mhm,
that things, the things you
mhm,
want to perceive or understand or learn,
mhm.
right? How
True,
interested you are. These days people are
true.
cutting a corner. Okay, I don't have time to watch a
Mm,
video for 7 or 8 minutes or 10 minutes, right?
true.
What
Yeah.
if you will ask them, okay, this is entertainment videos, or this is a book, something gives you thrillings, go and read it. They will read and watch hours and hours, hours and hours. Okay, but when it comes to something valuable content, oh, they lost their patience
Exactly.
because they are
Yeah.
not getting some interesting things on that. And that is why most of the people are ignorant when it comes to life,
True, true. And
right? They are not
delusional as well. Yeah.
delusion as well, and their life is miserable. They are always complaining, why my salary is not being increased, my boss is not increasing my salary, okay, why I'm not getting promotion, why my life is my life, I totally surrounded with my chaos. That's the no life is, let me give you a quote here.
Sure, sure.
Life is not more than a mirror.
Hmm.
It's a reflection of your thought that you have created inside yourself,
True, true. Yeah.
right? So as a beginning, I said, change your thought, then change your life, right?
Right.
So you can see how many people, if you'll go to Instagram or Facebook or YouTube,
Hmm.
97% people are devoting their time on songs or
Hmm.
some kinds of jokes videos or some kinds of cricket, something giving
True,
you thrilling amusement,
true. Yeah.
right? And if you will ask them to, okay, if you read this what article, okay, for 1 hour, you can enhance your salary, how to
Hmm.
get promotion, how to communicate better. Then only one read 3 to 4 sentences. Oh, I cannot understand. It doesn't work.
Right,
Leave it. Let's
right.
watch something different. Read something different. So
True.
that is why, okay, these day people do not want to be educated. They want to
Hmm.
be entertained.
True, very true. Yeah, I think they want to appear educated, but they, in the disguise of that, they want all this. So, this happens to me all the time. Whenever people ask me about their English skills, okay, what can I do? They say, okay, give me some quick fix. Give me an application using which, okay, just 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, I can do this. So, I always give them this suggestion that the more you engage with the language, the better you will get. So, it depends on the dedication you have. And they say,
True.
okay, I don't have time for hours and hours. And I say, okay, on the weekends you have time, right? And then you choose to devote it on Netflix, for example.
Mhm.
Then
Yeah.
okay, the least you can do is try to write the new words that you learn from your series. That also you can't do. Okay, then you can't come and complain and say that it's not improving or it's not getting better. So I think it just depends on the level of dedication people have. And when it comes to education, you cannot look for these quick fixes, right? We need to devote our
Never.
time. Yeah,
Devote
so
our
I just, yeah, pointed a few things here. You said that ideas and that things. Here we change the form. So those things, those ideas, because it's
those
plural in
things.
nature, right? Then you said, like them, I want to be. So here we'd say, I want to be like them. Yeah,
I want to be like him.
yeah. If you are impatient, here we'd say impatient. So
Impatient. Okay.
yes, the adjective would be impatient. So if you are
Okay.
impatient, and the pronunciation of the word field.
Field. Okay.
Field,
Field.
yes, correct, correct. Yeah. Again, it can be a slip of tongue, so you can be mindful about this. Yeah.
Okay.
So, are there any questions so far?
No, I don't.
Okay. So, let's move forward then. What do you think about the ways that the youth engages with reading nowadays? Like, you must be paying attention to how limited the number of people in a bookstore are versus, let's say, cinema or malls or other places, right?
Yes.
So, what do you think
And
about reading culture and why don't we have a reading public, especially in India?
the difference between reading or thrilling, it's like a difference between okay, earth and sky.
Okay, please
Right.
shed some light on that. Very interesting.
Yes, because if you will find okay, the successful people okay on this planet, 85% of people, 90% of people are reader,
Hmm.
and they were
Yeah.
reader. Why I'm saying, because whatever wisdom they have got or ideas or talent, they learn from those book,
Mhm.
and those ordinary people cannot write a book,
Mhm.
right?
True.
If I'm writing a book, that means I own life skill. That means obviously I have acquired those knowledge, and I have executed, and what I have got change in my life, that things I am putting into that book.
Right.
And that
Right.
will be experience of 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, 40 years, 60 years, even 17 years.
True.
and and how I have changed, how I executed, and how what I was before, and how
Mhm.
this idea changed me, and that
Yeah.
things I'm putting in that book, and people do not want to read. One book is equal to one master degree,
True.
right? So you don't need thousands of books to be successful. If one book
Right.
you trained well, right? Like psycho cybernetics. This book, the author says, I have changed 85 people life.
Mhm.
People publishing this book. 85 people live, okay,
Right.
they listen to my lecture and my tape, and they change that. Then he
Mhm.
decided to publish the book so that the worldwide people can understand about this,
Mhm.
the function of this psychology, right? So one idea, you if you are fascinating, okay, go ahead and change it. Why I'm so power of subconscious mind, that book, I think that is the turning point of my life, I would say, because it's
Right.
totally made me understand that how you can okay change your thoughts and change your
Mhm.
life. I have been practicing those ideas since 4 or 5 since I have been reading that. But
Right.
usually I am saying, I meditate, I visualize my goal, I set the target, I have to achieve this goal by the end of this, and I have achieved that, the goal
Mhm.
of making money. right? So that is why somewhere I am improving.
Right, right.
Somewhere I am getting confidence. Okay, I can be a good speaker. I can be okay a good entrepreneur 10 years from now or 5 years from now. I have gained confidence. But 5 years ago, I used to think, oh, it is hard. I'm not made for that things, right? So
Right.
these kinds of book giving me belief,
Hmm.
self-esteem. I can do it,
True.
and that is why this I love spending time with these books.
Hmm. Yeah.
So if you want, no books, each and every books is available in the marketplace that can solve your problem, whether it is finance,
Hmm.
relationship, or communication, business, whatever, any endeavor.
Right.
And people are facing this kinds of problem. They are encountering, they are coping this kinds of problem. They do not want to read. They do not want to learn. How can I solve this problem? They only want to blame. Okay, because of my wife, because of my friend, because of my boss, because of
Yeah.
government. Okay,
Yeah. Hmm.
we are not doing great. No, because of yourself. Solution is
True.
there.
True.
Go and learn it and execute it. Solution is available.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I think it's very comfortable being in the victim mindset and complaining and blaming about things that, because that's something that we were taught, right? Okay, it's the outside world that is doing this. I'm okay, I'm perfect. But I think it should be just something that starts from within. Once you work on yourself, then you understand, you differentiate. And I think as a result of that, once you gain that empowerment, you start making better choices for yourself as well. So the career you choose, the partner you choose, the friends you choose, they are going to be different, they are going to be of quality, and the kind of things that you engage yourself with, that would be quite different as well. So it's something that emerges from within. But yes, again the question comes, people are not willing to sacrifice their entertainment in order to get that, because
Yes.
I'm sure that you would agree that once we start in this path, it's quite difficult in the beginning. When you're reading, you're sacrificing, you think that other people are partying, they are enjoying their life, but I'm over here, I'm working on myself, I'm waking up early in the morning, I'm working on myself, my body, my mind. But in the long run, you'll see that you are far better off doing these things than just going into the mindless entertainment and doing something which doesn't bring any fruitful value to your life. Yeah.
And let me tell you a quote here that
Sure.
victims love entertainment,
Hmm.
victors love education.
True. Very
Right.
true.
Yes. So it's your decision, it's your choices. Want to be a
True.
victim or want to be a victor?
Right. Yeah. The latter takes a lot more responsibility, right? Because they are
Yes.
going to think about themselves. And it can be very hard to understand that, okay, the choices that I've made in my life, they are my fault. I started that. So I need to take accountability for that and change that. But if you are a victim, you think other people have done things to you, then you are never going to take that responsibility. So
Sure.
this is the difference, I think. Yeah. And that's why people gravitate more towards the entertainment as well. Because if you are a victim, you think you did nothing wrong, then you are just going to try and appease yourself by mindlessly giving into these things. Then those people are more invested in the movies, in the entertainment, like you mentioned about songs and all those things. There's
Mhm.
nothing wrong with it, but when you start to use them as distractions from your own life, then I think it's a problem. There are so many
Sure.
people who hate their work, who hate their lives, and as entertainment, they're going to go and basically gravitate towards these things, which is never healthy.
Sure, sure,
It
sure,
should,
sure.
yeah, the balance isn't there. So, yeah. So, what are the things, let's say that you were in charge of making reading cool for the youth? What are the things that you would love to do?
What apart from reading, I have only one. Some I don't listen songs. Even
Hmm.
I'm fond of song, but I'm so hunger, okay, towards my goals and dream or self development. I feel like if I will listen to song, I will waste my 10 minutes, 15 minutes for instead of
Hmm.
I will listen to audiobooks or motivation
Right.
speaker or some kinds
Hmm.
of idea. I feel like let me listen something good things, okay, because in this stage I have only one focus that I have to achieve my dream life,
Right.
right? So if I'm spending the time 10 or 15 or 20 minutes, the things that is not adding value, that give me some kind of that is that is needed. But I feel like no, instead of listening to songs, I will listen these things, audiobooks or motivational speaker or podcast that can
Right.
help me to expand my mind.
True, true. Yeah, I think once you start to see the positive benefits, then we get in this stage like you are experiencing, where there's nothing that can add more value than this. So you would
Yes.
choose these things over anything else.
So when I don't have time to read, whether I'm working out, whether I'm cooking,
Hmm.
I'm cleaning my home, I'm doing
Right.
chores. Okay,
Hmm.
I put earbuds into my ears and I listen to those kinds of audiobooks or podcasts or motivational speaker. Right. So I utilize that time.
Right, right. Yeah, it's very important to do that. Yeah. I think it's almost time. We have a minute or two left. So I'll just quickly wrap up the feedback. So
Mhm.
you said, I have changed 85 people's lives. You were reading from there. Yeah.
Mhm.
So here we change it. So I have changed the lives of 85 people. The
The
lives
life.
of,
Okay.
yes. We can say this if there is no number available here. Let's say that he only says, I have changed a lot of lives. Then we can end
Okay.
it like that. Otherwise, we can say, I have changed the lives of 85 people.
The
Then
lives
it would
of
sound
I can we say I have changed 85 people's life.
people's
85.
lives, people's lives. So it would be like this. So sometimes when we are speaking, it can be a little
Mhm.
difficult to pronounce this. So people's, it's like this.
Life.
I'm writing in the, yeah, it's apostrophe S. It's like this. People's
People's life.
lives.
Okay.
Yes, people's lives. Because
Mhm.
here we are talking about people who are plural and their
Mhm.
lives. So people's apostrophe S would be there. Yeah. So
Okay. Okay.
sometimes while we are speaking about it, it can go either way. So sometimes we can miss an S. So
Okay.
that's why it's more convenient to say, I have changed the
Mhm.
lives of 85 people.
So,
Yeah.
the life. Mhm.
Yeah. It was just a suggestion. It's not incorrect. You can say it like that as well.
Yeah, yeah.
But
That is a little convenient than saying people's life.
exactly. Exactly. Yeah. It can aid your
Mhm.
pronunciation basically.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think, yeah, except the pronunciation or the occasional singular plural errors, the rest is okay. You are quite fluent and you're quite expressive as well. You know how to exemplify your pointers once you introduce your point and then you give examples in order to demonstrate that. So all of that is quite good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. It was wonderful talking to you. Thank you.
Okay.
Have a good
Thank
day.
you so
Bye
much,
bye.
Nicole. God bless you. Stay happy. Bye bye.
Thank you. You too. Bye bye.